Group C, containing Algeria, England, Slovenia, and the United States, is a trickier arrangement than it's getting credit for. While the three Lions are clearly the class of the group, the other three teams each present a number of different challenges. Algeria is a disciplined young squad with talent playing in several European leagues. Wolfsburg's Karim Ziani is the best-known Algerian player and is generally involved in setting up or scoring the Desert Foxes' goals. Remember that Algeria knocked off Egypt, one of the best African teams, to get to the World Cup, and therefore should not be taken lightly. England limps into the World Cup as one of the favorites, despite losing center-back Rio Ferdinand to injury just prior to the competition. Striker Wayne Rooney was brilliant during a long club season with Manchester United, but will he have enough left in the tank for another grueling month of football? This could be England's best chance to win a World Cup in the foreseeable future, as aging stars John Terry, Steven Gerrard, and Frank Lampard will all likely be playing in their final World Cup. Slovenia is another challenging opponent that features a lot of quality all over the field. Center forward Milivoje Novakovic is a dangerous weapon inside of 30 yards and is simply devastating on set pieces. Former West Brom midfielder Robert Koren pulls the strings in the midfield, and Udinese standout Samir Handanovic lends his talents between the pipes. Like Algeria, the Slovenians defeated a tough opponent in Russia to qualify for the World Cup. England and the United States would be wise not to sleep on this team during group play. That brings us to the United States, the fourth team in Group C, which will be looking to return to the knockout stages after a disappointing performance in 2006. The Yanks don't exactly play an attractive brand of football, but the team is very fit and rarely goes down without a fight. While the play of Landon Donovan and Clint Dempsey is pivotal to advance, the U.S. must get production from striker Josie Altidore, who has had to shoulder a heavy load following the injury to Charlie Davies. Who will advance from Group C? Let's check the predictions and find out. Starting at the bottom of Group C, I believe Algeria will place last. Although there are some nice pieces to be found on this roster, there isn't enough quality to surpass the likes of Slovenia, England, and the United States. Algeria has won a mere 2 road games since 2003, and I believe we could ignore the African soil advantage because this country is nearly 5,000 miles away from South Africa. The Desert Foxes had a great run getting to the tournament, but the road will end here in the basement of Group C. On to third place in the group. This is a tough call for me because I truly believe there isn't much separating Slovenia and the United States. In the end, however, I think the USA is a tad bit deeper and more experienced than its European counterpart. Slovenia takes third, but will perform valiantly in each of its group games. Novakovic is somewhat of a late bloomer on the international scene, but people will surely take notice of his individual quality this summer. That leaves the United States and England as the two teams I predict will come out of Group C. England has a ton of question marks, but I believe they'll still edge out Sam's Army here. With momentum from a strong qualifying campaign and a successful run at last summer's Confederations Cup, the United States will move on with 2 wins out of 3 in this deceivingly difficult group. Defense remains a big question mark, however, and that will likely prevent a serious run this summer for the United States. England should top Group C, a position the three Lions ought to achieve even without their best effort. England's propensity to underachieve at the World Cup will prevent it from taking the maximum 9 points, but advancing top of the group should never be in doubt. England's road to the semifinals is a rather easy one compared to many of the other world powers, so a deep run in this tournament is entirely possible if the team plays to its potential and avoids the dreaded penalty shootout. Well, those are my predictions for Group C. Check out my blog, Off the Woodwork, for more previews and capsules of all 32 teams participating in the 2010 World Cup.